It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a rumor that's been going around regarding Madison Clark's return in Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. And we're going to go through the truth of whether or not Madison Clark is returning, at least as far as Season 6 is concerned, and whether that tease that was in the trailer was actually a tease that Madison is coming back, and whether that was actually Madison or not. We're actually going to go through an interview, a very short snippet of an interview actually, that Kim Dickens did. Kim Dickens, of course, played Madison Clark. So we're going to play that, and she reveals the truth about whether this was in fact Madison or not. So this is the scene that we're talking about, the tease about Madison's return. So this was in the Season 6 trailer. Obviously, we can see someone who looks like Madison inside this cell. Now, when I did my trailer breakdown, I did say right off the bat that I don't think this is Madison. And I said that I don't think that, first, it's a smart idea to bring Madison back. And also, I don't think they're actually going to do it. There's a few reasons why I'm saying that, and I'll get to that. But obviously, the last time we saw Madison, she was cornered against a fence with walkers all around her. And the way that they ended her story was quite open-ended, in a way where they didn't show us that she died and they didn't show us that she didn't die. So they just left it up in the air and let fans kind of make up their own stories in terms of whether they think Madison survived or not. Now, I truly believe that Madison got killed off because the actress playing Madison, Kim Dickens, she didn't want to work with AMC and maybe even the Fear writers anymore. And there's a reason I'm saying that, and I'll talk about that after I go through the interview that she did. But one thing I do want to mention is this is not the first time they've done this. We do know that they killed off Travis and Nick because both of them, the actors that played them, wanted off the show. They no longer wanted to continue. And I think the reason for that is because they saw where Fear started and how it went through this kind of downhill motion. And they didn't want to be a part of a failing or a failed show. For example, Fear the Walking Dead, at the beginning, Season 1, we had a story that was good. It focused on the family. At its core, Fear the Walking Dead was supposed to be about the Madison Clark family. I think that was the best route. You're following a family and you're seeing how they evolve. Now, they didn't do that, obviously, but I think Season 1 was the odd season out because it was, in many, many ways, the season that stick to its core of what Fear was supposed to be. And I absolutely enjoyed it, even though they did skip through a lot of the stuff that we thought we were going to get, like how everything crumbled, how society crumbled when the apocalypse came, when the zombies overrun the cities and things like that. They skipped over that for the most part, which was a disappointment, but still, there was a lot of things there that made the season good. But then they moved away from that into repetitive story arcs. First, it was the group finds a community, they find people to join them, they help people just to see the community that they have found or the place that they have found destroyed. This happened at the boat, so the ocean, the boat, that story arc. Then we went to the hotel, then we went to the ranch, then the stadium, then the dam. So all of these storylines had something very, very similar. They tried to take this community for themselves. They succeeded initially, but things happened and they saw the place destroyed. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that story, but at some point you need to find a stable community and move the story forward knowing that you do have a stable community. On The Walking Dead's original show, they did that because they were on the road until Season 5 when they found Alexandria. And then the whole story shifted away from them always trying to find a place to stay. And it seems like in Fear, they're still doing the same exact thing. After that, during Seasons 4 and 5, they had a little bit of a change or a shift, slightly, because they went from finding a community or trying to find a community to just going around helping people. They've done that for 4 straight seasons now, Seasons 4 and 5. And it can't just be me. it's repetitive and it's just taking away from what The Walking Dead is, or what Fear the Walking Dead was at its core, which is about survival, not about just going around helping people and risking your own lives helping people, when in fact you could be finding a community, making that community stable for yourself, and bringing in more people along the way. So I think that just like Travis and Nick, Madison was killed off because the actor or actress wanted off the show. And I don't blame them. I mean, we are all complaining about how bad Fear is. I'm sure the actors and the actresses, as much as they come across as saying or portraying that they enjoy and love working there and love what the show's doing, I'm sure that there's going to be a few of them, maybe not all of them, but a few of them that are not really being truthful. And they do see deep inside that Fear is not as good as it should be. But with that said, let's dive right into the interview, and then I'll talk about the interview a little bit. So I'm gonna let it play. It's like 12 seconds, but it comes from USA Network. And they did like an interview with her, and they asked her about whether there was a tease about Madison's return in the season 6 trailer. And here is her response.
I think some of the online they picked up that maybe it was a tease in the trailer that Madison was coming back, but it's not me. It's not me, guys. Sorry.
Okay, so
that was it. So one thing I did notice about what she was saying, she was holding back a little bit. And I feel like even if she wanted to go back, she wouldn't go back because of some personal issues that they haven't been able to resolve. Maybe it's money, maybe it's just the fact that Fear is not doing well. We don't know what's going on in the background, but what we do know for sure is it seems like the way Kim Dickens is talking about it is she's trying not to sound like she doesn't care, but at the same time she's trying to kind of put that rumor to rest, that it's not her. And I don't think that she is fooling us. I don't think that they're throwing us off or trying to pull the rug from under us and actually showing us that it's Madison and making it so that they were fooling us when they said it's not her. I don't think that's the case. I think that she is really not coming back, and, you know, she's just not interested. For whatever reason, she's not interested in coming back. Down the line, will that change? Maybe. But at the same time, I feel like if they do that, then they'll lose a lot of respect from fans, because not only have they moved past that, everyone's going to know that they're doing it for ratings, which I think is not a good idea, and I think they'll lose a lot of respect from fans if they do that. Now, you can say that it's fan service if they do it, but I don't agree that it's fan service. Fan service is something that doesn't negatively impact the story. Now, in this case, I think not only is it that the majority of fans are not asking for Madison to come back, because I feel like the majority of the original OG Fear the Walking Dead fans are not even watching Fear anymore, or they're just binging it and they're not really interested anymore. But the people that are asking for her to come back are doing it only because maybe that's the only good thing about Fear, if it happens. And I think, like I said, if it happens, then it's going to negatively impact the story. And I feel like it's going to have a more negative outcome than a positive one. So I'm just hoping that they're not fooling us and they're not planning to actually make her come back. And I'm not saying this because I don't want her back. I'm not saying this because I don't want Fear to go back to its roots and be a good show again. It's just that I feel like it's a little too late for bringing Fear back in the first place and redeeming it. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to be super difficult for them to have everyone on board again. And I don't think that a lot of fans are going to be coming back to yet another stunt by AMC and the Fear writers. Those who actually left in the first place or stopped watching or stopped being interested because Fear writers and AMC pulled all of these stupid and ridiculous stunts. But with all of that out of the way, I do want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions, both positive and negative. If you completely disagree with me and if you love Fear, let me know. If you agree with me, also let me know. If you have more negative comments and negative things to say about Fear, also comment down below. But I want this to be a friendly environment. I don't want people to go at each other's throats because they just disagree with each other. I want this to be a very positive conversation, and I want this to be a very friendly conversation. But let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. In short, I don't think Madison is ever coming back, but as far as season 6 is concerned, I don't think she's coming back. I don't think this is her in the cell, and I do believe Kim Dickens when she says this is not her. But let me know your thoughts and opinions. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.